The issue of grid collapse in Nigeria has once again made it to the front burner, and now we are joined with Professor Isaiah Adejumobi, Professor of Power System Engineering FNAB, and Engr Olumayowa Idowu, FNSE, Chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta, joining us live from China. Good evening, and thank you both for joining us at this time.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, all right, so I'll be starting with the professor. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. So the nation has witnessed repeated collapse of the national grid in days. What does this say about our energy infrastructure?
Well, let me sort of us retreat that grid collapse doesn't just come one day. It is accumulated effect of maybe problem that the grid must have been experiencing. We have grid collapse mostly when the energy produced and the energy demand are not equal. Ordinarily, for a balanced grid system, we expect the amount of energy being produced from generation station to equal to the energy being demanded by the consumers. But because of the situation on ground, poor infrastructures, a lot of things is happening. And this poor infrastructure is not ordinary poor infrastructure. There are so many factors also attached to it. So when there's energy imbalance due to the infrastructure, and not only infrastructure, because most of our power stations are gas supplied, or the primary energy today is gas supply. But when you don't have enough gas to power the generation stations, when the equipment and infrastructures are very weak, then there's tendency for us not to have enough generations that will be able to cope with the demand in the nation. So whenever we have this imbalance, definitely there will be system collapse.
Okay, all right. Now to the engineer. Nigeria is yet to attain our full potentials as it relates to the amount of megawatts that can be produced. So where exactly are we now, and where are we supposed to be?
All right. You are right that we are still far from reaching our full potential in electricity generation. Currently, our grid capacity fluctuates between 3,005 and 4,005 megawatts, while our installed generation capacity is around like 12,000 megawatts. So, however, this installed capacity is not fully utilized due to constraints in transmission, in distribution, and other inefficiencies in the power sector. You asked a question that where are we now? Yes, when you look at our generation, we have installed capacity of around 12,500 megawatts, but we struggle to even deliver around 3,500 megawatts due to poor infrastructure, like Professor said, like due to gas supply issues, due to technical failures and the likes. And also, when you look at our transmission, you discover that transmission even struggle to deliver a fraction of the generated, electricity. So we are not there at all. When you look at our distribution, our disco, they also have their own issues. When you look at technical loss, when you look at energy theft, so we are not there at all. And the next question is where are we supposed to be? Looking at our population, looking at the energy demand, we should be looking at optimizing our capacity. We should like the Nigerian energy demand.
Okay, seems we've lost your audio over there. Okay, but while we are getting your audio fixed, I would like to go to Professor Isaiah. So should Nigerians continue to live and pay in darkness in spite of this new classification of electricity distribution depending on the band that you fall among? So should Nigeria continue to pay? Why are we in darkness?
Well, I think if you check our Sustainable Development Goal, I think number 7, it has been stipulated that worldwide we should also integrate renewable energies into our power system. And this is a government has been on it for years past. But I think for us to be able to get out of this trouble, we also need to go into renewable energy so that we'll be able to integrate then the renewable energy to our energy sectors, thereby enhancing our generating capacity. And that is one side. We can also encourage those investors to also venture in, like in other parts of the world, into power generations, especially in the area of renewable energy such as wind power generations and also solar power generation. Government is encouraging people to do so, and government is also trying to do their own best. In order to be able to get out of this mess, I think it's not going to be a government affair alone. It's going to be a combination of the government, responsibility, investors, individuals who have capacity to do so. Otherwise, this issue of energy imbalance will continue like this. Just as the engineer said, our infrastructure cannot even carry, even if we increase our generation now. But if we have other sectors like in the IPP, that is independent power productions from individual companies, I think it will also assist in a larger way. And back from that, all our aging equipment will have to be replaced. That's the reality. Cannibalizing one with one component or the other cannot solve this problem. We continue to, this event of power collapse, we continue to reoccur in as much as we cannot replace the old infrastructure with the new one. So please, what I would just encourage is that individual investors, we have to come in now if we want to rescue these unwarranted and terrible situations.
Thank you so much for that. And to Engineer Olumayowa, what advice would you give to Nigerians when considering alternative sources of energy, since the current one that we are using is not really sufficient with this persistent grid collapse that we keep experiencing?
Of course, if we try to explore other sources, this is going to help us to not to rely fully on the national grid. It's going to help us to reduce pressure on the national grid and also provide cleaner, sustainable, power for the future. So it's much more better for us to explore this alternate, energy source for the interest of our country, considering the issues that we're having around us presently.
Okay, all right. We really thank you both for sharing with us from the wealth of your experiences. Thank you so much for being in Galaxy TV News.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.